background. You majored in marketing and communications at Babson College. So, what were your initial career goals, and how did those change throughout the course of your education and early career?
I tended to always gravitate to small or smaller organizations. I liked sort of being in a group where I felt like I could make a big difference, where I could do a lot of different things. So for me, I was always looking for kind of these cool, trendy, interesting companies. I think going to Babson too, which has such a strong entrepreneurial focus, that made me feel really comfortable with small companies that could be dynamic and innovative.
Prior to your current job, you worked for a technology company creating wireless communication solutions for restaurants. You have a great story about using entrepreneurial skills to devise a new marketing strategy for truckers. Can you share that story with us?
Sure. One of the things we kept hearing in our customer service team was they were saying like, oh, this wireless Bluetooth headset, the truck drivers are really loving it. And we're like, truck drivers? Why are truck drivers even buying this? And they said because it was really rugged. And one of the things that we did is said, well, we got to talk to some truck drivers. So we actually drove over to the truck stop 30 miles away in Greenland. We actually went out to the back of the cabs of the trucks and started to crawl on the backs of the cabs, the fronts of the cabs of the trucks to see when they wear the headset, what are they sitting in? What are some of the issues? And they were describing the noise of the engines of the 18-wheelers and the wheels and all the background noise and how it would filter all that out. It was really fascinating, and it was a great way to get that first portion feedback for our product. So it worked out great, and that actually ended up being the product line that now is the most profitable for the company, and that's the reason why they got bought by a big, major international company.
You've worked in several different companies and industries over the past 2 decades. So what skills or abilities allowed you to navigate between different fields, and what skills, strategies, or qualities have you developed that cut across your different careers?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So what you find is you learn a whole bunch by working in different industries, and you learn that so many of business skills are transferable, right? So marketing, the tactics can be very similar if you know who your market segments are. When it comes to bookkeeping or HR, a lot of those kinds of tactics are very similar. And I worked for enough small organizations that I wore a lot of different hats, right? So I would get to be working with a team, say, managing the customer service team and doing some marketing. Well, I knew something about inside sales. They would give me the inside sales responsibilities too to manage. I may not have been an inside sales expert, but I had some really strong management skills, and I knew how to apply those skills to the team that I have and to use the team's resources to find success.
Okay, so you're currently the vice president of Keslar Insurance Company. What led you to take the leap into running a family business?
So the last company I was at was the technology company. It sold drive-through systems. And I realized I had no passion for whether someone got their coffee 2 seconds faster or if they got the correct bagel or donut order. And it was also a long commute. And at some point in your life, you sort of look at what that cost-benefit trade-off is, right? So yes, I was selling products nationally. It sounded kind of glamorous, but I didn't have the quality of life that I was looking for in terms of being home with my kids, having a short commute. I really wanted to be part of my community. That was really, really important to me. And this business, which I sort of call a lifestyle business now, affords me the ability to do a lot of nonprofit work, a lot of volunteering, and a lot of building relationships with those people in the surrounding Seacoast community and towns. And that feels really good for me. But I think you need to give back to those around you. You need to find a way to support somehow something bigger than yourself. Being part of the community in which we live is such a gift, and we are so grateful for all that we have, that it makes sense for us to do our part to give back for the quality of life of our friends and neighbors.
So what are your main responsibilities in your current career?
So we're an entrepreneurial organization. We have a staff of 5. So my primary roles are typically based around, I would say, community relations and marketing. So I manage all the social media marketing. I do all the internet web related SEO kind of stuff. I do a ton of networking. I also help with some of the day-to-day management, the training of some of our staff. some of the strategies and tactics that we put in place, some of the documentation, some of the HR stuff. I do all the hiring, onboarding, and that kind of thing.
So what are some of the key challenges in that?
Not enough hours per day, not enough money, not enough resources. It's just, a fire will happen and you'll switch gears and all of a sudden you're like, darn, it's been 2 days. I need to go back and finish that up.
So you're also a professor. What are some of the key principles you try to impart to your students when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Be curious. I think that's really important in any kind of career, but be curious, listen, be open-minded. So for instance, if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting a business, talk to everyone. It makes a huge difference. You never know how people in your lives can help each other. Third, attitude is everything. Instead of getting completely discouraged, I'm a firm believer in option C. Like there's plan A, plan B. If those two don't work, look for plan C.
Have you faced any barriers due to your gender, and how have you overcome them?
Tons. I can't tell you how many meetings I walked into. I was in a manufacturing industry for a long time. All men every meeting, always the only female. How many times I got asked to make the coffee for the team? How many times I got asked to take the notes for the team? How many times, anything that felt traditional female roles got pushed my way. Hey, we need lunch orders, Lisa. And I'm thinking, I'm the head of marketing, but okay, So that happened regularly. And I think it happens less now. I think the trick is as long as you go into every meeting, everything you do, go in professionally, go in confidently, and be your personal best, whether you're male or female. I think a lot of that goes away.
All right, and I have one last question. What goals do you have for your career in the years to come?
Fantastic. So for me, I want to get to the point that my husband and I, our company's been growing so fast, which is fantastic. We are so busy all the time because we just keep getting more growth. I want to get to the point that at some point we actually get to take the same day off together. I just have a nice little balance right now between family and work and community. So that's my short-term goal, is just to enjoy this and just make the most out of what I'm doing.